We started about 3-4 years back. The first seminar was done on 30th, 31st July, which was inaugurated by His Excellency Dr. APJ Kalam. And we had come out with the book thereafter, Historicity of Vedic and Ramayana Eras, and it is a continuum. This is the second part of that. That time we did only Rig Veda and Ramayana. Now we came up to Mahabharata, including Atharvaveda and Mahabharata. And we go sequential, and probably in another 1 or 2 seminars, we should come right up to Aryabhatta. And in this, you will find that the whole research is first rooted on astronomical dating. For that, you will have the first session, which is presented on behalf of Institute of Scientific Research on Vedas by Technical Director Shri Ashok Bhatnagar. And it's a very wide topic, it's a very technical topic, it's a very tough topic also. He will try to explain in short what the whole methodology is and how the sequence goes. It's amazing that the way all these texts you put. I will only say that if Agastya Muni is referred in Ved and is also referred in Ramayana, the dates will come similar. That is the exact extent of the matching. Now, after that, we have got a series of corroborating thing. Like we have gone like this. If there are references in Ramayana, Valmiki Ramayana comes around 5000 BC for our astronomical dating. Then we go further that in Ramayana, Saraswati is a mighty river. By the time Mahabharata, it's almost dried up, vanishing and reappearing, and being in the form of underwater, surface water, or being in the form of ponds, Brahmasar and all that. Now, the whole question was, what does the remote sensing imagery say? What do the geological formations say, geological evidences say? That when was Saraswati there? Was it actually flowing? Was it mighty in the 7,000 years back? Did it vanish almost by about 1700 BC? What is the remote sensing pictures, space imagery, satellite imagery? For that, Dr. J.R. Sharma, Dr. Bhadra, 2 very senior scientists of ISRO themselves have come, and they will make the presentation. It's for you to judge how much is the astronomical dating, convincing, and how much is the corroboration convincing, and does it corroborate at all. Now, I will just mention one more thing. We also went like this, that you see that Ramayana and Mahabharata are evolving, developing civilizations. In the time of Ramayana, they are caves. They are tribes looking like Vanra looks. And most of the time we find that so and so lived in cave and all that. And in fact, Ramayana says that in one place, Ram taught the people how to cultivate. That is the primitive, how that. By the time of Mahabharata, it's much more developed. It's society developing all throughout. So having look at literature would probably also give a peep into it, that how the whole thing developed. It's only that we look at more than 1 lakh shlokas and we are overawed and we don't even look at then the index of it. Sure. Then we have presentations on, additional Director General from Archaeology Survey will make a presentation based on the archaeological finds, that when did the tribes develop into city-states in India? When did the tribes develop into city-states in India? For example, we have, these archaeological finds where primitive society, agro-waste society, and then. So that will be another thing. And then I already mentioned that we have on genetic profiling of tribes mentioned in those epics. Then we have a very comprehensive detailed presentation today from Kulbhushan Mishra and Mr. Vimal Tiwari, who have scanned almost every archaeological record based on the actual excavation. And we are saying that the whole world, civilization, culture, history, we are rooted in our past. Our future depends on our past. If we do not know our past, we don't take correct decisions. We may not be able to develop so many medicines, we not knowing our genes. we not be able to develop so many medicines for our so many medical problems because we didn't study the whatever was existing in our soil, in our beings for thousands of years. There can be a tremendous loss if we do not know our true heritage and true past. It's not that we do it for the fun of it only to say that India was a great civilization, very old now. We believe the whole world had been constantly been civilized and culture has been developing for 10,000 years. The whole world history of culture has been understated, and this has to be written, and this should now be done by faculty of sciences with a multidisciplinary science subject. We can just begin the idea. This cannot be done by a small organization like us. It's a labor of love by so many of us who are associated basically of the subject. We are committed to it. We are totally devoted to it. So with that, I think we have put the perspective, and we go ahead with our deliberations for the day.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Dr. Surojwala, for giving us an overview of the seminar.